Hey folks, welcome to A Piece of CX. This week we're taking a look at how you can utilize aspects of Zoom's AI Studio outside of your virtual agents and your AI expert assists. So you may not know this about Zoom, but we're going to talk about some of these other components in the AI Studio that you can now utilize elsewhere. And actually some of the things you might have built for your virtual agents, you can bring into the hands of your employees. I'm in Zoom admin at the moment, and under product configuration, we have AI Studio. What you see underneath here will depend on what you have licensed. But there's a lot that you can actually start to do here. So let's start with the custom dictionary. Now, there are massive updates in the world of Zoom. With the start of June, the announcement of ZoomMate, we're just waiting to get our hands on it ourselves as to what that means, what that changes in terms of licensing. There's going to be a lot more in front of the end users with what we can do there. But let's look at some of these components in AI Studio. So first we have the custom dictionary. Now, custom dictionary is a way of getting certain pronunciations and certain verbiage into your Zoom environment. And to be fair, in a Zoom virtual agent, you might just create a skill for this. You might, put that in. But if you do that, that is limited to just one Zoom virtual agent. So why not use your custom dictionary? Now, you're limited to one per language here. So whilst I've got customer experience terms, realistically, this might just be English in general. And I've added a few terms in here. So I've got some terms from around the world. In fact, I'm going to add another one manually, and we'll call this Ring Central, and it's going to be pronounced as Ring Central like that. So what this should do is when it picks it up, it should stitch that word together for us. So once we've added some terms into our dictionary, then what we can do is test to see how they're picked up before we go live. Now you'll see I've got one in here for CXone, and I've tried a few different pronunciations here, and it doesn't really like them. And I don't know if it's because I'm saying it without a space. I don't know quite why it's doing that, but that's the point of the test, is you play around with it and see what happens. So we've got 8 terms in here. We're going to run through them, see which ones work, which ones don't work. So I'm going to test. I could just bring some audio in here, but I'm just going to record, and I'm going to say Genesis, Ring Central, ZVA, ZVA, audio codes 8x8, CXone, dial pad, contact center. And I'm going to repeat that list from back to front. So dial pad, contact center, CXone, 8x8, audio codes, ZVA or ZVA, Ring Central, and Genesis. That will then start to process. So that might take a little while to process. And what we can see here is we've got some generally decent results. It still doesn't like me saying CXone, so I will go and figure that one out again. But actually, I've got enough going on there that I can close that, and I can go and publish that. So when I publish that, not only does it have a positive impact on our virtual agents, but also into our meetings dialogue and elsewhere in the Zoom suite. So those industry terms start to get picked up better and better. So that's our custom dictionary. You can have multiple across different languages. There are 5 languages supported at the moment on that. And you can set one to be your default, which I am using the US English one. I suspect that that's why contact center is still appearing incorrectly spelt as far as I'm concerned there. So that's the first area of the AI Studio to look at. If we then go into AI Companion, there are 3 further views we're going to have a look at. Now, one of them has actually moved already, so custom dictionary. Then we have knowledge, then we have custom templates. So let's start with knowledge. Now, what our knowledge does is allow us to bring our knowledge that we've previously built, or we can build here for our virtual agents or our expert agent assist, and bring it into the AI Companion for your users. So if I add a knowledge base here, there's a lot of stuff in here. So I am just going to select Zoomly Tires, as that's actually the Quick Fit website in the UK for a scenario that we had there. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have synced one with 3,000, nearly 4,000 articles, but we'll go with that to start with. And what it means is that is now available as an option within our setup here. So this should give us an idea of what's in that document. And then if I'm happy with this, I can then publish. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm just going to click publish and put that to the entire account. I could decide who sees this as well, but I'm not that fussy. Now, note here, I don't have any custom AI companion licenses in that. So if I go across to my Zoom user here, let's flip me across over there and say, tell me about Holt CX. It's going out to the web. So that's a key thing to note here. Once you've got that assigned to your users and you've got custom AI companion, then you're good. This just took a little bit longer. We can see the show, like the thought process here where it went out and, took a little bit of time there. And we can see actually it's gone to 8 different sources, which it didn't necessarily need to. What was interesting there is it's gone across some of my chats as well. So if I say here, what is the support process? It's probably not going to give me an answer unless it picks up one from the web, because I've got our AI companion going out to the web here. That's not what we saw previously in our AI companion. So you need your custom AI companion license there to make use of that. Let's look at another aspect now, which is custom templates. Now you have 2 types of custom templates here. You have meetings and you have call summaries. So call summaries you're going to use within Zoom Phone. And again, you can use some templates. This is one of the things Zoom are really good at, is giving you some templates that you can just make use of straight away. And we'll save that one. I think though where this really comes into its own is when we have meeting templates. So I've got some that I've created here. But if I go to this all hands one, then what I've done is taken one of the examples and I've added some areas into this. Now, you're not going to take my examples here and use them in the real world, but it's to give you the art of the possible. So out of the box, we had meeting overview, technical updates, strategic, challenges, team highlights, recognition, questions and discussion. I added 3 more. So actions and items is the last one. I added, based on their contribution, assign a Marvel character to each attendee, anything that's unclear, and participation levels. Now, the beauty about this is you can set all of these, you can decide what they look like, and then you can test it. Now, what it will do to start with is it will take sample data. So this is generic data that Zoom has in its platform, and we can see here it has given us some details, and we've got our strategics, we've got our challenges and blockers, we've got questions and discussions, and then we can see here it's suggesting that David Thompson is 4 because he brings powerful technical solutions. We've got some unclear and we've got some participation here. Now I could go back and look at this further. So I'm going to go back and edit that one quickly into here. Again, prompting matters. The more detail we give AI, the better it's going to be for us. So again, we'll just run that through and see what that looks like. And it's going to write a new template for us based on that. So now we have our update. And again, I could test this using my own meeting, and it's going to go into the vault of all of my meetings and have a look at what you had recorded and what you can go with. Or I can just use AI. So now let's go back down to that section that we were looking at earlier. So we can see here, present, spoke for approximately 25% of the time, full attendance, 12% talk time, camera on, all of that kind of good stuff. That to me, I think is quite intriguing because Zoom is the platform of conversation. So you've got a lot of data in there that you can utilize to then coach people to understand meeting metrics. If you go back and look at our Claude video from a few weeks back, you'll see that we're using that kind of data to see how we can run workshops better, how we can maybe say on the A Piece of CX channel the word "so" a bit less. Once we have this, we can publish this, and again, we can decide who it is assigned to as well, and we can hit publish, and then you can go and set your meetings and decide what you want there. So that's your AI companion settings. Then we have custom agents. Custom agents are when things start to get a bit more interesting, in that essentially in AI companion, we can now search for maybe a support ticket. So we've got one here that is going to look to see if there are any similar details. We've got knowledge. We've got it doing some Zendesk stuff. Let's move myself over here for a moment. In fact, I'm going to say here. So think about this. When you bring this into AI Companion, then you're making it even stronger for your users without them necessarily having to go into Zendesk to go and find things. The level of effort and the amount of context only get better for your users. So that's your custom agents. Again, you publish this across your entire account and you can make use of that as well. I suspect that also isn't going to work because, one, we don't have a Zendesk instance. Other than that, everything else here is geared around your virtual agents, your AI expert assistant, your tools, and your integrations are all around virtual agent and expert assist. And then intent management is interesting because intent management was very much a V1 thing for Zoom virtual agent, but actually we've now got intent-based routing available to us within Zoom contact center flows as well. So you could potentially use that as a light option for an IVR. So what you've seen there are some of the areas within Zoom's AI Studio that you can deploy outside of the AI Studio to your regular users of Zoom to make their experience better, be it in meetings, be it generally using AI Companion. Take a look at them on your platform, have a look at your custom AI Companion or ZoomMate licensing to see where you can deploy them and start making your life easier. And start making life easier for your employees. Thank you very much for watching A Piece of CX. If you want to learn more about anything you've seen today, just get in touch. Thank you for watching.